Well, one of the most watched videos on the Chinese social media site Weibo today is footage of an airline's stewardess standing with a line of in-flight meals in front of her. Now, they're all opened and she's testing them all with a fork. When I say testing them, I mean eating the food. Now, a little bit earlier on, I spoke to the BBC's Kerry Allen. She works for BBC Monitoring, and she told me about this and some other stories which have been trending on Chinese social media.
This has gone viral on Chinese social media today. One of the platforms, Sina Weibo, which is like Facebook or Twitter, millions of people have seen this video of this air hostess, and she stood in front of a line of about 10, maybe even 15 in-flight meals, and they're all open, and she's literally stood with a fork and she's just dipping a fork in different ones and just trying them. This has been posted by somebody on the airline, possibly a member of staff, and they've uploaded it anonymously, and the media's got hold of it and it's just gone viral.
So is it clear, is she going to eat meals and then give them to passengers, or are these leftover meals, or do we just not know?
Media have been saying that they believe it's leftover meals, but it's not confirmed. But obviously it got a lot of attention on social media because there were some people saying this could actually have been what happened, that there were people who were going to be fed these meals, and it was a kind of what's going on behind closed doors kind of thing.
Now, tell us about another story which I know is getting lots of interest as well, about a 15-year-old.
Yes, I've seen stories like this before in the Chinese social media. There's this boy was found in his dormitory at a college in the early hours, and he'd been, I think the teachers had heard some kind of noises going on in his dormitory, and they came in and they found this boy with serious injuries and took him to hospital, and he died in hospital overnight. This was on the 5th of December, but the media reports have only been coming out about it now. And a few students, five students have been arrested on criminal charges and another on administrative charges. But there's got a lot of attention on Chinese social media because there have been instances like this before where videos have been uploaded of groups of gangs of teenagers attacking one student, and sometimes they can be really violent videos. In this case, we've not actually seen footage of the incident, but a lot of people have been saying, how can we keep seeing stories like this?
And yeah, presumably, I mean, this is a 15-year-old boy who's in the care of teachers. He's at school. And if there are these kind of videos which have surfaced before, why did the authorities not do anything to protect these young people?
It's difficult. I mean, with this instance, it was after curfew, so the teachers come in, they turn off the lights. In these colleges and high schools, there are a lot of students who they board at the schools and then they go home at the weekends. So it would have been in the week, and the teachers do take some responsibility, but once lights are off, anything can happen. But yeah, videos we've seen before. We've seen gangs of teenagers actually going out and terrorizing communities that have got a lot of attention. But in this case, there are these dialogues that are sometimes related to the one-child policy and saying because children are so spoiled, they're unruly, and their parents don't kind of teach them right from wrong.
Well, on a similar theme, teaching children right from wrong, a couple being expelled for hugging? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Both a boy and a girl at a high school, they received letters from their teachers saying that they've been warned several times and that they've been outright expelled from the school for hugging 3 times. And one of the parents of the 2 kids spoke to a local newspaper and said that the teachers had told them that they were setting a bad influence. And since the media got involved, local media, it sounds like the school got a bit scared, and it kind of said, okay, if they can come back to school if they write a letter and say that they won't do it again. But there are a lot of people saying in overseas countries you don't have this, that you can have couples in high school, but in China it's really frowned upon if you're in high school to have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and a lot of people don't really start to have their first boyfriend or girlfriend until they're at university. So some people have been talking about whether there should be better education of sex education in Chinese schools, and there should be more openness of this, because going back many decades, it's a culture from parents to not have boyfriends and girlfriends, and now in modern society it's accepted internationally that people will, between the ages of 12 or 18, have their first boyfriend or girlfriend. So people are saying that people need to get with the times and accept this. But at the same time, there are some people saying, no, they did the right thing.
Clearly, this is about the young people's age because they're at high school, but culturally as well, are public displays of affection frowned upon generally in China, or is it becoming more accepted?
Yes, they are. You still find in China with soap operas, the major story will be if somebody kisses someone in public. To see something like that on TV is major. You know, when you think of programmes in the UK like EastEnders, the storylines would make a person in China's heart stop. There is this kind of attitude that a lot of relationships, being close, touching each other, is done behind closed doors. There is a bit of sensitivity towards it because it has been taboo for so long.
That's the BBC's Kerry Allen. She's from BBC Monitoring, talking about some of the stories which have been trending on Chinese social media.